Good morning, folks. Welcome to our channel. We're adjusting the camera. It's the 26th of February 2018. Welcome back to our channel. We're here. You get more news in 15 minutes than anywhere else on the net. Please pray we can stay on the air. You know, it's really hard to get your heart into something after building something for 3 or 4 years. I've been working on a YouTube channel for almost 8 years. They put me on and take me off, put me on, take me off. I worked with David Sponheim doing Dr. William B. Mount's channel, and finally they gave me my own channel, and we've worked it pretty well. I'd say about 60 hours a week. And then when ICANN took over, they dropped our hits by 90%. We didn't lose our subscribers, we didn't lose our hits, but they just simply took them away. And now they're talking about pulling the channel altogether. It's hard to get motivated. Please pray I can get my spark back. As for our story today, every once in a while a story just sticks out and bites you in the rear. Just irks you to all. I mean, this is incredible. The Democratic National Committee chairman, voter fraud is legal. Think about it. The Democrats believe voter fraud is legal. In a lawsuit filed in federal court against the DNC for voter fraud, the lawyers hired by the DNC and the former chairman of the DNC, Congresswoman, she's a congresswoman for God's sakes, Schultz, argued that voter fraud is protected by the Constitution. Now, why is she not in jail for committing treason for all the other things she's done? She's in court arguing that voter fraud is legal in the Constitution. In fact, they went on to argue that voter fraud is protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution. This is what the Democrats are saying. We can commit voter fraud because it's for the good of the nation. Documents from WikiLeaks clearly show that the DNC literally rigged the election for Hillary, that they squashed Bernie Sanders, that all your votes for Bernie Sanders were absolutely thrown out the window. You know, years ago I got a call from one of our TV hosts, and he was with the Ron Paul Mitt Romney vote in one of the districts in Seattle. Mitt Romney got 1 vote. There were 99 votes for Ron Paul. And yet they claimed that Ron Paul got 27% of the vote. So Kirby Wilbur, a former KVI talk show host, who now runs the Republican National Committee, he committed voter fraud as well. He just committed voter fraud. And what that did was sway the country against Ron Paul and towards Mitt Romney, and Mitt Romney lost to Barack Obama. Ron Paul would have squashed anybody in his way. But because of the Republican Party, they committed voter fraud as well. We did TV story after TV story after TV story on it. Nothing. No FBI involvement, no local police involvement, no Homeland Security, nothing. Now, the Democratic National Committee is actually arguing that voter fraud is legal and no one has arrested these treasonous people despite their admission to this. So in court, the Democrats have been shown to commit voter fraud and even admit committing voter fraud. And no one's in jail. This sets a nasty legal precedent because the federal court is not allowing the arrests of those who are openly admitting to committing voter fraud in the last presidential election. What this means is no matter how you and I vote, it doesn't matter. It's absolutely meaningless. These people will continue to commit voter fraud until they are arrested and locked up behind bars for treason. You know, we would like you to please pray that President Trump gets the guts to arrest those guilty of committing voter fraud. I mean, your vote doesn't count. You're fed poisonous GMO foods like wheat and corn and soybean oil and canola oil, which shuts down your liver so you get fat and die. You're forced to take vaccinations which fund terrorists around the world. You're sprayed with garbage, it's in the water, and now your vote doesn't count. Unbelievable. This story should be front page news across the nation, but it's not. It's not even touched by any of the mainstream media. What a bunch of worthless, gutless pukes. That's all I can say. The mainstream media is completely lying, and now they're trying to take the internet down. Please pray that President Trump has the guts to arrest those who are destroying freedom. In other news, apparently a foreign-owned corporation named Antifa is causing riots. What are there, 30 people? Look at that, the same people as in America. Antifa is a foreign-owned corporation and is protesting in Italy about the elections. It's not just the United States the elite Rothschilds hiding in Zug, Switzerland are trying to destroy, but the entire planet. No one was arrested in this riot. Smoke, fire, no one was arrested. What's really sick about this is Silvio Berlusconi, the Republican Party candidate there, the right wing, and I don't understand right and left wing in Italy. Didn't he admit to having a 17-year-old girlfriend not too long ago and he was never arrested for pedophile? The elites are the elites. Pray that they go down for pedophile. And China, across the planet, is advancing while the United States is putting, we have a computer lockup, don't we? While the rest of the world is still running on gasoline-powered motors, getting 12 miles to the gallon? It's 16 miles to the gallon. China has drones. Of course, they're gas-powered. They're using technology that's 100 years old, the propeller. When was that created? 1911? Yeah, that's not old technology, but they put a person in it and they put a computer in it and they fly people all over a particular city in China. It's called a mega drone. 6 propellers. Using this technology created over 100 years ago, the drone has been tested as a taxi in China for the last 4 years. All the rider needs to do, and it can carry up to 500 pounds, by the way, all the rider has to do is step into the drone, push a button, it leaves the airport and takes you to your destination. It's that simple. It's expected to launch as an aerial taxi over the next 2 years. So you come into the airport, you step in the aerial taxi, there's a GPS map, you push the button and it takes you there, you put in your credit card, the taxi's paid. It's that simple. But it can't be used in every city because of power lines, And from the city that brought you massive voter fraud, if we can get to it, from the city that brought you massive voter fraud in Seattle for the last 2 elections, we now see Seattle setting up a special police unit to seize guns. There's nothing else on the entire house. So this is obviously being affected by somebody outside of our house. So bear with us, folks. Here we have the very first gun confiscation unit put on by the King County Sheriff's Department in a special appropriations, which means a tax not voted for by the voters, which is illegal. They have created this new unit called Ellie. Ellie has $1 million a year to seize your weapons. If a court says you're dangerous and somebody doesn't like you having a gun, they will bust down your door and steal your guns. I was talking to a guy from Rochester, New York. He was called away for an hour and a half. He came back. His front gate was kicked in. His front door was kicked in. His back gate was kicked in. His dog was dead. 2 bullet holes in him. Found out that the local police department came by, kicked down his gate, kicked down his door, kicked down his back gate, put 2 bullets in his dog and walked away. And when he called the Rochester police, they said, "We're not going to tell you who did it." So he had to go to court just to find out which cop kicked in his door and killed his dog for poops and giggles. Turned out the dog was not quite dead. The guy took the dog. This is a 13-year-old black lab. This is not a vicious dog. The cops had to send special units out to quell the public. So what we've got now, and they said, we can kick down your door, we can kick down your fence, and we can shoot your dog because we have eminent domain in Rochester, New York. So what we have in Seattle and what we have in Rochester, New York, we have a police force. There is no law. It's whoever has the most guns and whoever has the most radios. So there it is. They're ready to take your guns away. You can't vote, you can't defend yourself, and they're feeding you poisonous food. You think maybe it's time to pray? Really? Come on, now they're taking down your internet. Probably within a couple of months, these stories will die because Google is pulling down the news sites like this one. And see, you can't even get to it. I can't even move this up and down. Gateway Pundit. They're being taken down by Google. Unbelievable. And we leave you with this: if they let us go to this story, we're not sure they're really, really, really coming against those who tell the truth. We leave you with this story, if we can get to it. If we can do anything on our computer. Nope, apparently we can't get to the story. Why does that not surprise us? The story has been completely blocked from us. We have Virtual Shield up, so they're breaking through Virtual Shield to do this. We leave you with this: giants in the Grand Canyon. There exists a cave, and you can look this up as long as they don't pull the story. We're trying to get it back for you. There appears to be a cave containing 36-foot tall giants that are mummified, that are thousands of years old under the Grand Canyon. Look what they're doing to the truthers. You think maybe it's time to pray? Yeah, maybe. They appear to be Oriental in origin. The artifacts are almost identical to those found at El Amarnin. Boy, we can't even get to anything. Both outposts were gold mines. Boy, this is really disheartening, isn't it? Here we're going to show you pictures of giants, and they've blocked all of it. We can't even get on the net, and there is nothing else on the internet blocking us. We've got speed, we've got everything. So apparently the CIA does not want you, or whoever's doing this, the NSA, whatever government pig agency is doing this, they're blocking your ability to see the pictures of the giants. Anyway, they're 36 feet tall. There they are. There's a little man there, and there's one of the mummies. We dare not go into the story because they might block the story, but we're going to try. Anyway, you get it. You get the picture. There's the man. There's the... Oh, we might be able to show you. We're going. They discovered this about 100 years ago. But what they're doing to this computer is just as important as the story. There's the cave above the river. Somebody went in there and discovered it. There's the cuneiform writing. The writing is almost identical to that found in the caves in El Amarnin. They were both gold mines, and they have eliminated the pictures over the last few minutes. So apparently you won't get to see any of this. Well, you saw the main picture. Sorry about that. It's just what's happening across. It's just what's happening. You can't tell a story anymore. They're destroying you, so we ask you to pray. It's really disheartening to see these federal agencies now take down... Nope, you can't see the rest of the pictures. They've scrubbed the second half of the story. We're going to try. But anyway, pray for President Trump's safety. Oh, we have some more pictures. There it is. There they are. These mummies are 36 feet tall. 36 feet tall. See, guy only doesn't even stand up to the knees here. Anyway, this is a very old world, and as we open up the secrets of the holy mountain just north of Cuba called Royal Maya, we are sure to discover some amazing things there. And if we're still on the air, you will be the first to see what we discover. You know, our government is broken at all levels because no one has the guts to arrest anyone for violating the basic laws like being able to tell the truth. The First Amendment. As we people, all we can do, the little people, all we can do is go to Trade Genius and try to make more money, preserve our wealth with noble gold, and pray that this country turns around. We pray for President Trump's safety every day, even though he doesn't care if his life is saved. But we still pray for it. Because somehow, for some reason, God still wants us to pray for President Trump. So we support him. Please pray we can stay on the air. You make the difference. Your prayers are what's keeping us on the air. There's a thin line, and they're about ready to pull us off. They're about ready to pull all the truthers off. Within the next 10 days, everyone telling the truth on the internet will have their first strike. It's the way they're going to work. So we're not allowed to talk about crisis actors anymore. We have to follow the script. Zig Heil. God bless. Thank you very much. And pray we're still on the air tomorrow. And good night.